you go. Did
Yeah.
it.
Hey, everybody, it's Daphne, your favorite person in the whole world from Laura Entertainment. We are sitting down with Sean Paul. I'm going to let you say your last name because I am not going to screw that
Uh,
up.
P- Piccinino. It's Italian, so it's a tough one.
I would have had that wrong.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Very good. Very good. Thanks so much for having me.
You were telling me, so you've got this graduation party going on. Your daughter's
Yes. Yeah.
like,
Yeah. My son, he's graduating high school, which is just crazy to think about.
makes you feel old, don't
Oh yeah, for sure.
it? Wait till they start having babies.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. But it'll happen.
Yep. It sure does. I'm telling you. Once they start having babies, you're just like, oh God, God. And then when the babies start talking, and you're like, man, you know,
Wild, wild stuff.
I tell them like, grandma, I don't want to hear them words, grandma. That word does not exist. It's not,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know
I
what
don't
I
know what
mean?
I'll want. If I want grandpa, granddad, gramps. Nope, none of them sound right yet.
You know, there was one name that I heard for a grandfather, and it was on one of my favorite shows, Mike and Molly. Um,
That's a
It was
great show.
Grandmaster Grampy or something like that is what Vince had said. I
I like that. I'm gonna
thought
do
that
that
was
one. Just
funny.
call me Grandmaster Grampy.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's a cool name. Cool name. Grandmother's only good. I don't know. So many. I think there's like three. There's not
Gra-
like grandmother Grammy or some crap like that, you know?
oh, Grandmother Grammy. That's a cool one. I like that.
Yeah, but then you still got Grammy, you
Yeah, yeah,
know, or grandmother. There has to
yeah,
be a difference in there.
yeah, yeah.
So tell everybody what are you into lately? What are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm just enjoying making movies and TV series, and been in heavy development on several projects lately. Some I can talk about a little, some I can't say nothing yet. But I just love the entire process from beginning to end. Um, Being a part of storytelling, really, and just the collaboration. I really, people ask me like, how do you choose a script? I got to tell you, a vast majority of it is the people you're collaborating with. So that almost takes precedent over everything else. Of course, you want a good story and interesting characters and a piece that speaks to you. But even if all those check marks are there, if the people are not folks that you really connect with and that you really want to collaborate with, it might not work. So that's a very important piece of it to me, and how I choose the projects, and it's also why end up working with a lot of the same people over and over, because you grow this relationship and trust and just enjoyment of their company. So I mean, you see that everywhere. Spielberg to Seth Rogen, they work with a lot of the same people over and over. So
Yeah, I mean, there's rumors that people get in their head, well, everybody's got their own clique. Everybody's got their own clique. And I've covered this actually in a segment. I cannot remember who I was talking to when we went over that about it's not about having a clique. It's about having people that you're used to working with that you know that you can rely on,
yeah,
because
yeah,
people are not used to bringing in people that, I mean, yeah, when you hire new people, it's like with any other job. You're bringing in people, you don't know if these people are reliable. You don't know if you can trust these people. You don't know if these people are going to show up half the time or if they're out there taking pictures and showing your work, stuff that they're not
right,
supposed to be doing. There,
yeah,
you've got your own people that you're used to working with, and you know those people are not out there sharing the stuff or out there, sabotaging shit,
right, right,
basically, and you're
yeah,
comfortable with these people. So it's not about forming a clique. I call it a family. Is
yeah. Film
my
family.
Yeah. It's just a family. And it's not often that families like to let outsiders come into their family
Yeah,
because they're comfortable with their family, you
yeah.
know. And
I
that's
do
just
love though when I get more than one family, and then I get some crossover. I get to introduce, like when you really have that bond with people, and then you have to go because you can't always work with the same people, and you start building another family, and then you go, you know what, I think you guys would love these guys and gals, and you guys should meet. And I always love that. It's such a cool thing when it works out. It's not that it always gets to work out, but
Yeah.
I've brought like cinematographers and first ADs and even makeup and hair and wardrobe over to other projects, and it's awesome when that gets to work out. Of course, it doesn't always get to work out, but no, I really love having that and building that film family. It really is a trust thing, and you understand their capabilities, and they are going to have your back. You know,
Yeah.
so as a producer, as a director, or anybody that's kind of helping lead or steer the ship, you've got to be able to trust that the people are not only obviously trustworthy, but that they're going to get the job done, and to the level that you want them to be able to do.
Yeah. So how many, if you're anything like me, I get scripts all the time that, I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of them are unsolicited, but I mean, I do still kind of look at them because I feel like when I'm looking at some of these scripts, and a friend of mine, Carla Christina, actually Contreras, had told me about this app that dyslexic people, it's really good for dyslexic people. It's the Speechify app. And
yeah, yeah.
I use this actually to save time because if I don't have time to read a script while I'm working, I
I
can listen.
1000%.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
So when I'm listening to the scripts that I'm picking and choosing, if I can't get images going in my head about how I would package that, or
yeah,
even if I know I would have to rewrite something, if I cannot get that going in my head, I know I cannot do anything with it. So I
yeah,
have to pass on it just
yeah.
because I know it's not going to be worth my time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
And
I don't have Speechify. I think I did have that at one point. I've got like 3 apps that do it. I think Voice Aloud Reader is the one I've been using lately. But yeah, I'm in LA, and everywhere is 1 to 2 hours to drive anywhere. So while I'm on the road, that's what I'm doing. I'm listening to scripts. I have tons of scripts that are sent, which is, I think, a blessing. I'm like, great, yeah, no, send me the scripts. Might take me a bit to get to yours because I'm reading 10 ahead of that or whatever, but yeah, and projects that I'm gonna, even like a project that I'm attached to, I will use the that app to read the scripts, and I'll listen to it at least twice through, and I find that I start absorbing even more and more retention, like getting all the details, and then I will physically read it, of course, and then that by that point when I'm physically reading it, every detail is in the brain now, you know and I always love too. I ask writers when they send me that stuff. I'm like, give me a a good character breakdown of each of the main characters. Like, I want to know some of their backstory because it's hard to just jump in and read a script and understand fully the process of what the story is. So
yeah,
um, I find that super helpful. But yeah, I love the voice apps. I mean, it's honestly, there's no way I could get through these scripts. And again, it's that same thing where if it doesn't connect for whatever reason, I tend to be somebody who can see potential in things. So if there's something that's really catches me, like maybe the whole script doesn't work, or certain characters aren't fleshed out, or whatever it is, if it has enough potential, I will really latch on. And even if I got to do rewrites or work with the writers or whatever it is, if I see enough of potential in something like a lead character or a villain or something like this, then I'll go, ooh, okay, this is worth it to me to really dig into this because this one piece is so cool, and or maybe hasn't been done before, or something of that nature. And I'm like, okay, let's. And then I've got to think about it, like how could I make it work for myself? And then it becomes the question with the writers or the producers, whoever's involved, is like, are you okay with me, you know, uh, kind of, making it my vision as well? And if you're not, it's totally cool. Here's like, I'll pitch the ideas. Like, here's the things that I think would be super cool, and I would really get me excited and really into it. Now, again, if that's not something you like, then obviously we don't have to partner on it. But um, if you like me and want to partner with me, here's what I think I could do with it type of approach.
Yeah.
And knock on wood, luckily I've been able to do that with almost all every project that sparked my interest that way. Then it just becomes this really cool collaborative thing. It's I love collaborating. That to me is one of my favorite parts. Like I mentioned earlier, I really choose a project based on the collaborators because again, you want to enjoy the time you're spending with people. I got to work with the late great Mickey Rooney on a movie before he passed away, and this was before my directing had really taken off. And this wasn't my movie, it was somebody else's. I was just helping out, but I got to spend time with Mickey, and he saw that we were all stressed. It was very indie film, low budget, and the camera package didn't show up on time, and so everybody was kind of losing their minds. And Mickey looked at me and said, "Hey, Shaun, are you having fun?" And I just like kind of taken aback. I'm like, "What do you mean, Mickey? We're stressed. The camera package hasn't showed up." He goes, "Shaun, if you're not having fun, why are you doing this?" And I went, "Whoa, Mickey Rooney, Oscar winner, silver screen," and it really hit me. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. We have to enjoy this process. And what I've really discovered through kind of taking that approach and having this attitude of, again, look, we're going to work hard. That's a given. But to try and make the process as enjoyable as possible for everybody involved, from the grips to the obviously the cast and everybody, um, that that collaboration has become even more creative and more of a um, the art kind of blossoms through that, which I find personally really a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I mean, you got to make it fun. Even with that app, when I was listening to, God, it was a couple months ago, I think. And I was listening to the app, but I was walking around. I think I was cleaning. My daughter looked at me. I had to make it fun for me that night because it was a script I didn't feel like I would connect with. And you know what I mean? So I had Snoop's voice
I love it. I
playing
love it.
it on my phone. And I was down there, I think I was cleaning the kitchen, and you hear fade in. You know what I mean? And my
Yeah,
daughter
yeah.
just looked at me like, what the hell are you listening to? A guy walks in, you know what I mean? And she
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, what the hell is
I
Snoop?
love it. I love it.
And I friggin' lost it. And she just looked at me like, what is that? What are you listening to? And I'm
So
like,
funny.
he's on Speechify. And she's like, oh God. I'm like, I think it was his app or something. He had something to do with the creation of that app, I'm pretty
I
sure.
think you're right. Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
think you get all sorts. You can Arnold and Stallone, or whoever you can have read on
Yeah.
there. Viola Davis, I think, is on there. Yeah, I that's funny. I depending on the what the story is, and the lead characters are in a script, I will change the voices based on that.
Yeah.
Like whether it's going to female voice or male voice, or like I don't know why, but I a lot of times I'll choose a British
Uh-huh.
accented person to read it to me. I don't know why I like that, but I just
I
do.
do too. My Alexa's set on the British. I love that. I love their accents over there. I swear. My comedy thing I just did, the girl was over there in England. I love
Nice.
their accents. I can't help it.
Yeah, yeah.
Something about it. It's just like, I don't know. To me, it's like comforting. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
It's like a nice cadence to it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I set everything to like the British English, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
My kids are like, God, you're crazy. It's just funny though. But Snoop's voice on that, oh my God, it was so funny when I was.
Sounds like it would be pretty soothing, I think. He's got a kinda soothing voice, you know?
Well, I mean, I like his music anyway, so it was just funny when you hear him say fade in, you know?
I once had maybe it was Waze, a GPS where you could put different people's voices, and those
Really?
were really funny, yes. Like, I had Arnold Schwarzenegger on there, and he's like, "You have to make a U-turn ahead," like, that kinda stuff was so funny, you know? Yeah, I
To
thought that was
tell
hilarious.
people that you'd be back when you were pulling off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Back.
yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was funny. It was super funny.
That's hilarious. I
I don't know
didn't
why I stopped using that.
I
Yeah. I think Waze got
don't
me
even
lost
have
one
to
too
do
many
it.
times, and then I went back to Google Maps or something, but, um,
Google's no fun, man.
it's not. Maybe I need to go back now.
It's no fun. They're taking everything away from Google. I swear that they're slacking. Slackers. So what movies do I mean, what do you got coming up that you can talk about? I mean, you don't have to go into detail, obviously.
Yeah, well, I have a really cool science fiction TV series, and I'm attached to direct that. And we've been deep in development and pre-production on that, as well as doing some really fun, like fan fundraising rounds. So get the fans involved. We just finished that campaign, and it went really well, and
Mhm.
we raised way more than we had even set out to do. Um, and again, really, that was just purely like, let's get the fans involved, because we have number one, it's a award-winning science fiction novel that it's based on, and we have the novelist involved. And then we got to some really cool sci-fi, like, royalty attachments to it. Lots of Star Trek alum on there, everybody from Walter Koenig to Tim Russ, Doug Jones. We almost have every Star Trek show, at least one person from every Star Trek show on this thing, as well as Casper Van Dien from Starship Troopers. I think we need to get a Star Wars person in there too, I think, somehow. But anyways, that one's really kind of
Winning them
fun.
all.
Yeah, yeah, fun for especially the sci-fi geek in me. I'm really excited about that project, and it's a cool concept. So it's called Manhattan Transfer, not to be mistaken with the famous band of that name. But what happens is Manhattan itself, like the entirety of the city, gets abducted. So there's this sphere that forms around the city, literally lifts it out of the ground, and it's taken out to space. And uh, on this massive ship that brings all of Manhattan on board, the inhabitants of Manhattan, have to figure out what the heck is going on. Is it possible to escape? Can they get back home? What is that all about? But they also discover they're not the only sample species on this massive ship. There's other alien species from all over the galaxy on board this ship. So that's the setup. The pilot episode brings us right to that moment. And yeah, an exciting rest of the season awaits on exactly what's going to happen there. Um, and who's going to, rise up to the challenges, and who's going to crack under the pressure. In a lot of ways, the setup of this story works in the same way as like a Walking Dead or something like that would work, where you're going to see self-preservation kick in. Who's willing to backstab who just so they can survive and prevail. Which unlikely heroes are going to, again, rise up and help save the day, type of thing. So and new allies, new species of people that or beings that they will have to collaborate with in order to make it through the situation. So it's a really cool opportunity for, again, some really amazing makeup and special effects. And so I'm really jazzed about that one. That one's the closest on the horizon for me. I do have an action adventure that I'm going to be shooting overseas coming up. It might not be till the beginning of next year that we film that. But I'm very excited about that as well, because it's got, parts of Indiana Jones to, action movies like the Expendables or something like this. So it's a really fun combo of things there. And then I have some other projects that are in development that I can't talk about, but I'm really excited about them. Again, some amazing collaborations, and then I'm kind of doing my own stuff too. Like I have I just started my own YouTube channel just for all things filmmaking. So
Yeah.
just behind the scenes, also, trying to help aspiring filmmakers as well. And so yeah, I'm just kind of doing that for fun. I did a YouTube channel way back in the day, and we had a ton of fun on that channel. We did all these like a site superhero, basically, spoof videos and stuff, and we had a lot of fun with that. So I'm enjoying that, just as kind of um, a little whenever I get free time, which is not a lot, but to kind of just I had some really great mentors coming up in this business that really helped me, and not as far as getting me jobs,
Yeah.
although some did help in that department. But a lot of it was just a really sound, amazing advice that stuck with me, and uh, I really believe made me the filmmaker that I am. And of course, I've still got lots of room to grow and improve,
Yeah.
and but so I like helping impart some of that knowledge, trying to give back any way I can, pay it forward type of thing. So yeah,
That's
that's
why I
what I'm doing
started
there. Yeah, yeah.
I
That's my
started
that's
the
my
yeah.
yeah, my company too is Piccinino Pictures, so my last name. Trying to help with that branding on so people learn how to say that name. So it's I've
Wow,
got my
that's a
first
dig.
yeah, I got my first film with my company logo. Will be at the front there coming up here uh, this year, so that'll come out. And I'm excited. I'm excited for that. It's called the Butterfly Project, and got to collaborate with some really awesome folks that I've known for years and years and years in America Young. She is also a um, filmmaker herself, a director, producer, writer. But her and I came up through the stunt ranks together. So when we were both just starting out in Hollywood, we were both getting thrown through windows and things like this, and we kind of always had each other's back,
Yeah.
running safety. Like I remember there was a stunt she had to go backwards through a 3-story window, and I was the one responsible for all the boxes and the crash pads that she had to land on. So being right there to keep her safe. And she, by the way, she was in full prosthetics. So she could barely even see. Like she was in a full bodysuit prosthetics, like this creature. She was playing this creature, and there was also a second person with her. So they both come through that window. But anyway, so we came up through the stunt world
Yeah.
together and worked on. It's got to be over dozens of projects because we did a bunch of video game stuff together too in the stunt side of things, and but now she's like a prolific voiceover artist as well as a director. She's directing on all these WB TV shows, and she's the voice of Barbie for all the like animated Barbie stuff. So she's really just kicking butt. So we got to do this Butterfly project together, written by her husband, and he's also an actor, and he starred in that. And so I'm excited about that. But that'll be the first project that wears my Piccinino Pictures logo, and so I'm excited for that to come out.
I need to bring on some more female directors. I need to get more female directors on here. I mean, because I think I've had like 3 or 4, 3, I think. But
Yeah, well, you should definitely interview America. She'd be awesome.
yeah, send her my way. I mean,
Yes, I will.
I started these to help educate the people because they're getting the information out there wrong. And
Yeah,
there are so many people out there that are giving information that's wrong. I mean, yeah, I started as an extra, but
yeah,
I also ran a business for 13 years before I started in this industry.
yeah,
And so it was easy to do both
yeah,
sides and move it forward.
yeah.
But since then I've started like I do these segments separately because I have the entertainment, media, and press business along with the production business. And
Nice,
like I just started this new program I'm actually doing. I just launched it actually a couple weeks ago. I've had it in the works for about 6, 7 months. I've been wanting to do it. And finally I just said, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And I
nice,
went ahead, I've been in contact with school boards and stuff. It's called, I named it the Golden Star Program. What that's
nice.
going to do is a lot of kids, they're not going to be able to maintain an A plus, an A plus, and I'm not going to do it yearly because that's just stupid. So
Yeah,
I'm going to do it monthly where they have to at least hold a B through that month and their behavior better be damn good, you know,
yeah, yeah,
and they have to be submitted by either a teacher or a principal, whoever submits them, not a parent, because
yeah.
that's favoritism and I'm not going to accept,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know. And I'm going to put their names in a jar and I'll do it live. I'll do a Facebook live, which I never usually go live, and draw the name out. And I'll probably do 2 names a week and set up 2 interviews a week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that kid after they get their release forms and stuff signed,
Yeah.
and permission slips. And I'm going to either if they're local here, we can do this in person or Zoom. Let them help co-host these
Love
segments
it.
with
Oh,
me.
I like that.
So
I like that a
we have
lot.
the directors, the soldier segments, the musician segments, and I mean the ones, well, probably just the soldiers, the directors, and the writers. I think I'm going to not do too much with the musicians because some of these are kind of bad. Well, I mean, not, it's the language,
More adults. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I know it's
More adult
definitely
music.
not
Yeah.
gonna happen on the comedy segment because that's called censor this, and that's got a whole,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they can't do that one. But
Yeah.
the other ones, if there's not a kid coming on, that's fine, but if there is a kid co-hosting that with me, I'll keep it light, we'll
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll keep
Yeah.
it light. But I think it's a good learning experience. Plus, it's an incentive for the
Yeah.
kid
Yep.
to to motivate them. Plus, it motivates them to the arts
Yes. Yes. Which is very important.
and not just being famous because that's all they care about nowadays. Oh, I want to get famous. I want to get famous. I'm going to be a YouTube star. Okay, first off, I only used YouTube to embed to put it on my website. That's it.
Right.
I
Right.
use it for.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't get on YouTube that often, but that's all they care about. There are other things in this industry that they could be doing,
Yeah.
like, directing or so many more things they can be doing in broadcasting, even stuff like that. This
Yeah. Yeah.
is a chance for them to get to learn more than, oh, I just want to be a YouTube star, you
Right. Yeah.
know?
Yes. I think that's great. Or TikTok star or whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't stand TikTok. I think that's just Milli Vanilli shit. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, you're really good at TikTok videos. Congratulations. How would you do on a real set?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Not everybody could hack it.
Yeah. Now
Good.
I will say I've been surprised by some of them that
Some
that
can.
really can. But
Mhm.
yes, as a vast majority. But yeah, I worked with a couple of TikTok quote unquote stars, and they were really good. I was
Mhm.
like, wow. But they also, to be fair, had started actually learning the craft. So
Yep.
studying acting, like going to classes and working with coaches. So that it wasn't just, you know, I think there is obviously uh, folks that won't, go that route and they're just trying to be famous, like you said. But there are some that really use it as a bridge to then really work on an actual craft and art and I applaud that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's important. It is important because they just concentrate on the fame portion, but they don't concentrate, I mean, on, do they not realize, okay, well, when you're on a film set, it's not a 30-minute or a 4-hour job. You're
Yeah,
there for 12 hours and you're literally working 18 hours,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
before.
for sure, for sure.
You know?
Yeah,
So you need to learn the other side of this industry before you really think about getting into this industry and
yeah,
take it serious. Because if you don't, I mean, still have fun. I'm not saying don't
yeah,
have fun, but take it serious because if you don't,
absolutely.
you're not going to make it far, you know?
Yep. Yeah, and it's I tell people all the time, you can't wait for people to discover you. You've got to get out there. My biggest advice to everyone from actors to whatever it is, editors or cinematographers, go out and make your own stuff because there's really no excuses in this day and age. Every phone can shoot something, so obviously that won't be the quality of certain things, but once you get out there, you're making things, you're getting creative, you're collaborating with other creative people, you're going to grow and you're going to get new experience and you're going to make new relationships, and that's just so important to getting better at these crafts, but also that is a way to quote unquote get yourself discovered, and work begets work, all of those things. I just think it's really important to keep creating. Create is my motto.
Yep. Let me ask you this. This is something that I've had a debate about with a lot of people. And I mean, I get it as far as a casting perspective, with the agents and the, managers, because I
Yeah,
have a management business too. When people are doing their resumes, and this is a big one,
yeah,
okay? And there's a lot of people out there, oh, don't put extra work on your resume, unless you're just starting off. Okay. When somebody approaches me, this is what I look at. Even if they are extras or if they
yeah,
have been extras, if I don't see anything, like say they've been in 10 movies and they were all extras, but they leave all of that information off of their resume and then they send me something with one job or two.
yeah, yeah,
I'm looking at their resume and I'm like, you have no experience.
yeah,
You've not
yeah,
barely been on a film set. And
yeah.
then you
That
start
set experience
talking.
is huge.
Yeah, about the oh, I've been on this. I was an extra, but somebody told me to leave that off the resume, which I get that. But
Yeah,
here's my outlook on this. I would rather somebody send me a resume with that background on there because that right there tells me you're not an idiot. You've
yeah,
actually been on these film sets, therefore, you already know these film terms about sharks and stuff like that. So you're not going to be a problem on this set
yeah.
versus have you only
Understand
done one?
marks, and yeah, understanding where marks are, and understanding where, all the different things. Uh, um, yeah, I think. Look, I did extra work too. That's how I got my SAG card. I did it for almost a year, and I treated it. This is another thing I tell, especially aspiring actors. Um, but I always knew I wanted to be a filmmaker, so I did pursue acting as well. But that was not my end goal. My end goal was to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And so I treated it as a paid education. When I was doing it, was like $75 a day is what you would make, and uh, but I'm like, I'm getting paid $75 and I'm getting to learn. I'm getting to learn this business, and I took a notebook. It wasn't. I think I had a laptop, but that was heavy to lug around. So I just brought a notebook and a pencil, and I wrote down terms, and if ever there was an opportunity, I would ask very kindly if I could, somebody could tell me something about the filmmaking process. And I actually got pretty lucky a couple times. I got to shadow on CSI Miami. I got to shadow the camera crew. One of the ads took kindly to me and saw how enthusiastic I was about actually learning about the cameras, and they let me go shadow for like half the day. I got to shadow the camera crew and learn all about first ACs, second ACs, what they do. you know uh, I already knew quite a bit about cameras from photography, but learned even more about how, obviously a film camera differs. And so it was just an awesome education, to be honest with you. I really, really enjoyed the time, and obviously learned a ton, and I got paid to do it. That's what I tell people. If you have the means to be able to go be an extra, a background talent on something, go do it, because it's a great experience and it's only going to make you better at whatever your goal is, because you're going to learn all about being on set. I would say with the resume thing, maybe it could be a separate line item. I haven't really dealt with resumes on that level. I mean, I guess with actors auditioning, but yeah, maybe it's a separate line item if you want to be upfront, that it's
They
like, oh,
don't
look, I,
they don't
you know,
use it like that though. Everybody, it seems like there are some people are for it. I mean, me personally, I am for it because that's where I started. And I
yeah,
see a big problem with this. And
yeah.
it is. It's a real
I
big
like
problem
seeing I
in the
like seeing it
industry.
all, like even theater experience. I'm like, put it on there. Like, let's
Yeah.
see that you've been working on this for a while. Yeah, I'm definitely for it as well.
Yeah.
I think where the it might get sticky is if it's like, masking it as you were like a co-star or something like that, which,
Yeah.
a lot of people do the fake it till you make it. And
Yeah, they need
um
to quit that, but just they
yeah,
could put extra, or, background or maybe, yeah, like you said, something underneath their actual roles, but, just
yeah, but it still shows, yeah, shows you I've
that
been
you have
on
experience.
44 TV shows or whatever. That is, no matter what, it's good experience. And I also think that um, you know, the importance of putting in that time, it's
Mhm.
we all have to start somewhere. So I even feel that way on sets. Like I do not allow anybody to treat any position, and of course extras or background, uh, in any negative way. Like I will not ever put up with that.
Yeah.
But that even goes for grips and that kind of stuff. Like you can't treat any of these all these positions are so important to making a film. The stunt community as well. It's like that thing of oh well they're just stunts. No, I'm sorry, excuse me.
I love
This
stuff.
integral part of this process,
Mhm.
and I'm actually really, really excited that the Oscars might finally recognize stunts. This is like a new story that just came out a couple days ago. It
They
looks
need
like they're gonna.
to.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh!
stunts are what make
I mean, you
films.
can't even do a kids rom com, not a kids rom com, a kids like family comedy without stunts. Like it's all over. There stunts and everything since Chaplin, and even those early days. Stunts have been a big part of it. So to not be recognized by the Academy is a really strange thing. I don't get it. Most of the other award shows do recognize stunts, and the idea that's being floated around for the Academy for the Oscars is basically like best stunts in general, which I really like. I really like that it would be a like ensemble. Basically, it's like what's the best stunts for a movie for the year, and
Mhm.
that idea that means the entire stunt team would win an Oscar. And
We know
I
Tom Cruise's ass would take one for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh,
His
listen,
ass is up there
listen. I
flying
know, I
jet.
know a lot of, I know a lot of the teams from the Mission Impossible's, and a lot of the folks that work directly with him, and there's not a single one of them that has not commented on he's crazier than all of us. Like he'll do the bigger stunts than any of these
Oh,
stunt guys.
yeah.
I mean, there are stunt guys. There are stunt guys that'll go toe to toe. Don't get me wrong. Those are those guys, but he's even out crazied some of the stunt guys. Like they're like, I'm not going to run down the side of that building with 100-mile-per-hour winds. And Tom's like, they're like the safety experts, like you can't do that. So he got a different safety person.
Don't tell me
Like,
what I can and cannot do.
yeah,
I know.
listen, that's a really funny story. I'm trying to remember who talks about that. Oh, it's Matt Damon. Matt Damon talks about that story a lot, where Tom Cruise is like, well, I guess we got to get a new safety person because I'm gonna literally run down the side of this building, and he did it. He did it when everybody else was like, it's not safe, but he's just he's got that confidence. I mean, he flies jet fighters for fun. He's elevated his talents to a level where he's comfortable doing 360 corkscrew spins in a helicopter. Like he really does that stuff. And I do know he was very bummed on the last Top Gun that they wouldn't let him fly the latest jets in it, like actually fly them, because he really wanted to. He did. He flew the old one, the F-16 or whatever, the one that they get towards the end, because I think that is actually his F-16, by the way. Um, but so he did get to fly those and the smaller plane at the beginning and stuff. But of course, for military reasons, they would not let him fly the
Just
the,
go
the new
buy
ones.
one when they put him up for sale so we
Yeah.
can buy one.
Well, I know he owns a bunch of World War II ones, like the Spitfires and stuff.
Yeah.
He's got a really amazing collection, obviously, of those. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about a guy who literally flies jet planes for fun, and he's got an astronomical amount of jumps, parachute jumps, like in the thousands. So he's considered like the top level skydiver because he's put in so much time doing that.
He's
So yeah,
junkie. That's what it is.
he's like the ultimate stuntman.
Adrenaline junkie.
Even Jackie Chan's like, I'm not a stuntman like Tom Cruise is a stuntman. Like that's Jackie Chan. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, pretty wild, pretty fun.
Yeah, he would definitely take one of those awards. But I mean, there are things like I don't know that people just like to do their own stuff. Like I like to do certain things, and people, I'd like. they try to tell me no. Like there's a scene in the movie, one of the the movies that we're gonna be putting out where there's a chase, and I'm like, I'll drive the car. No, you won't. No, you won't. And just like I like to ride motorcycles, I've got my
Yeah,
motorcycle license, and they're like, stay off the bike until we get this filmed. Stay off the bike until we get this filmed. I'm like, you guys are no fun. I'm still
yeah.
gonna ride. If somebody shows up with a motorcycle, I am gone.
I've got uh,
I
I've got 3 motorcycles right next to me right now. I love riding too.
I love him, and I mean, my favorite because I had a 48 is what I had. It
Oh,
was a
beautiful.
48 1250 with twin brother racing pipes on it. That was my baby.
Nice,
I love that
nice.
bike, and it broke my
Love,
heart when I sold it. I was like, "Man, I gotta sell it," but I had a bad omen. It was like, I don't
yeah,
it just got bad vibes, and when I get bad vibes, that's when I've
gotta listen to it. I understand that. Yeah,
yeah, I ended
yeah.
up getting another one, then I kept that one. It just wasn't fast enough for me, so I sold that one too.
So you're
Yeah.
a speed demon. I'm just a cruiser. I'm just that I'll go to the track and I'll do, mostly car stuff on a track, but I'm just a cruiser on motorcycles. Like, I obviously in Southern California where I live, it's kind of crazy with traffic and people are kind of insane on the road. So
Oh,
I
that's
don't like,
true too. I won't
uh,
take a
I don't
motorcycle
go on the
on a
freeway.
highway. I will not
No,
ride a motorcycle on a highway. I will take a
I
back
don't.
road all the way from here to California before I will ride that highway because
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
too many idiots that are either on drugs or they're either on their phones. They are not paying
yeah.
attention to you. I
Which the
will,
phones might be worse than the drugs, to be honest. It's so
yeah,
distracting.
yeah.
Yeah, I've driven from Orange County to Pasadena all on surface streets. And the funny thing is I beat the GPS time for a normal route by like 25 minutes. And the fastest I went was 45 because I was on just surface streets, and I literally still beat what the traffic would have been had I been on the well, I'm of course splitting lanes, maybe not, but yeah, I just cruise. I cruise along the coast. That's my favorite thing. The California coast really is uh like slept on. It looks like Europe in a lot of places, these sheer
Yeah.
cliffs, and like up in Northern California, it's so Big Sur, it's so beautiful. So that's really what I ride, and I just cruise. I have a Triumph 1200. It's called a Speedmaster. It's got some get up and go, but that's not my thing.
I'm
I'm
like
not
that in a
racing.
car. I'm a speed demon in a car. I'm not even gonna lie. I made it from Ohio, get this, Ohio to Milwaukee. Okay, that's usually a 10-hour drive.
Yeah, yeah.
I made it there in 6.5 hours.
Wow. And
Yeah,
no ticket?
yeah. I pretty much knew where them cops were gonna be sitting. So it was like, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
I was on a mission.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been there. I've done that too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun. But the motorcycles, it's one of my passions. It's my happy place. Like when I'm on a motorcycle, it just all my stresses melt away, and my wife now rides too. She's got herself an Indian Rogue Scout.
Yes. So we were talking about motorcycles before we kind of got cut off there. So we kind of had to start over, and that's what that conversation was about. Anyway,
Yes, yeah,
and his wife has a real pretty motorcycle, you guys. It's really pretty.
yeah. Indian Rogue Scout. She looks way cooler than me when we're riding.
I like
But
that blue.
a lot of fun.
That
Yeah,
blue, that blue is one of my favorite colors. I love
yeah,
blue. Yeah.
yeah.
My car actually is blue. The motorcycle I just told you that I had sold actually was blue. My baby though, the one that kind of broke my heart it was all black and like a black shadowy type gray also
Ooh,
lines through it.
oh, I like it. Yeah,
It was so pretty. It was so
love
pretty.
that.
Yeah. And it was a one seater too, so I didn't have to put anybody else on with
Oh, nice,
love that.
nice.
Nobody could say, "Can you take me for a ride?" Nope. I have another seat.
Yeah,
Strap it in.
her Scout doesn't have a second seat, so
See, so she don't have to share.
yeah,
Smart
yeah.
woman.
Well, it all started because she was on the back of my bike, and we are doing a charity ride called the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, and it's all about raising money for prostate cancer and also mental health.
Mhm.
So we were doing that ride. It was like a 3.5 hour ride, but a lot of stop and go, And so we got to the end of that ride, and she goes, "Next year, I'm riding my own bike." I go, okay, well, you're gonna have to get your license, all that. She did. She got her license, and I honestly thought she'd maybe never ride except for that charity ride. Nope, she then's like riding every day, and then like I'm gonna go get my own bike because she was riding my Royal Enfield, which is just a little single cylinder 500, really cool to kind of as a beginner bike. But she went and got herself a 1200 cc Indian Rogue Scout, and just is rocking that now. So
You know what I tell everybody? This is what I tell everybody when they're like, "You're a girl and you ride," and they just look at me. I'm like, you know what? I got tired of being the bitch on the back. That is why I went and got my own motorcycle because I got tired of being the one stuck on the little pillion pod, and
yeah,
I'm done with that. I went and got my own bike. I don't have to worry about it now. And they
I
just look
think
at me
it's way
like,
more fun, you know? I'm sure there's people that like riding in the back too, especially if you got one of those big old bucket seats or something. But yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I would not want to ride on the back, so I totally get it. Yeah.
imagine that as a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the woman driving you around, and how you gonna feel,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I just
know?
like to be in control of the vehicle too, so I know I would want like,
That's me.
and motorcycles too are one of the ultimate like uh that ultimate feeling of shifting gears, like people that like race car driving and stuff. A motorcycle gives you that ultimate feeling of everything's working in tune, and when you shift just perfect, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, it's just such a cool feeling.
That's how I am with stick shift cars, and I mean, because I favor stick shifts over automatics any day of the week,
Yeah,
and when I always get a stick, well, right now I have my Alpha, it's an automatic because apparently they don't make
they don't
that.
even make them. They don't even
I
make
know.
them for most cars.
So I tell everybody, I'm like, the next one, when I get rid of this one, I'm going back to a stick shift because I just love sticks. I'm like, and half of today's generation can't drive a stick anyway, so I ain't
Yeah.
gonna worry about it
Yeah.
getting stolen. you know?
I have that happen on sets a lot where the actors have just never driven a stick shift, and you will have some old Jeep or something that's for the movie, and they're like, I can't drive that. And that becomes a lesson. We have to do the driving lessons for the talent that has to drive those things. It's really really funny.
We
Um,
shot something here. I let them use my house. We did this little, it was a little I don't even know what's going on with that. But I let them use my house to film this. And what was funny is there was the ending part of it, and nobody could drive the stick shift car that was needed except for the guy filming the damn thing because it was his car. And I'm like, well, I'm not in that scene anyway. So how about I just drive the damn car since I'm the
yeah,
only one who can drive the damn car?
yeah,
And
yeah,
he's like, oh, okay. Well, he let somebody go in front of me. I felt so bad before he finally just was like, he stalled the car. He was grinding this guy's.
oh no, oh no.
I'm like, oh my God, there goes his clutch, man. And I told the guy, I was like, get him out of your car. I'm driving it. Because
Yeah,
if not, you're not going to have a clutch to get home with.
yeah, yeah, oh my god.
And I just jumped in and bam, I'm gone. And I felt so bad because that guy, his poor car.
Oh man, that's the worst smell too when the clutch is burning. Oh
Oh, man, it was he lied though. The guy, he was like, "Oh, I can drive it." Dude,
yeah,
you just
yeah,
stalled 3 times right there,
yeah.
and you're grinding it the whole way, and you never
Oh.
came out of first or second gear. No, you cannot drive. Go, go. Just go, you know? Go. But, I mean, it's just crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, when I come out there though, after well, I know enough people out there, I'll borrow me a bike somewhere.
Yeah, yeah,
Give
yeah,
her a
let's
ride.
ride. Yeah, it's I never turn down a ride. It's my like I said, it's my happy place.
Yeah, I'll definitely would tell your wife, "Hey, come on. We're going riding. You got another female rider right here. I'll go with you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
happy to take you."
yeah, yeah, that'd be a blast.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I guess I'll wrap this up. That way there you can go spend time with your family because I know your
Oh,
family's there. We don't wanna keep them waiting.
yes, yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. I'd love to come back anytime too.
Oh, yeah. Hey, especially when, we start doing those when the school year hits.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
kids, and I start doing those with the kids, I'm definitely gonna you can bring whoever you want, send them to me. Whoever wants to
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sure the kids are gonna love that though. I can't wait to start that. I love doing stuff like that. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Well, thank you. And to everybody else, we love you. See you
Thank
later.
you. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, it's over, baby. You said that you love me, you said that you care, you say that you will die for me, girl, but you know that just how that. I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do. No need to look to your left, girl, cause nothing belongs to you. Now you try me, you know you can't run them games on me. Now you creeping, I saw you stepping out with that G, yeah. Say what you wanna say, do what you wanna do, play how you wanna play. It's over, it's over, it's over, it's over. Say what you wanna say, do what you wanna do, play how you wanna play. It's over, you know, you know, you know it, you know it. No more playing with my mind, no more wasting all my time, no more telling all your girlfriends that you're spending every dime. You know you don't get nothing from me. It's time to set your whole heart free. Yeah.